Hello! Advent is here. It's the beginning of December and I've still just got time to make my gluten-free, dairy-free Christmas cake. Now this is pretty much a standard recipe you'll find anywhere for a rich fruit cake, and it works a treat using a gluten-free flour mix instead of normal wheat flour and using a dairy-free spread instead of butter. This will make an 8-inch, that's about 20 centimetre round cake, and for this you'll need 800 grams of dried fruits, just over half of that as currants and the rest as either raisins or sultanas. You need 50 grams of mixed peel and 50 grams of glace cherries. 45 ml, that's 3 tablespoons of brandy. Napoleon brandy is fine. You need 225 grams of dairy-free sunflower spread. 225 grams of soft brown unrefined cane sugar. 4 eggs. 225 grams of gluten-free flour. I use Dove's Farm plain white mix. 3/4 of a teaspoon of ground mixed spice and half a teaspoon of salt. Need 50 grams of chopped almonds. I couldn't find any chopped almonds, I'll be chopping these later. And just 10 millilitres, that's 1 dessert spoon of black treacle. The first thing to do is to soak the fruit in the brandy overnight. So chop the cherries. And once the cherries are chopped, add them to the rest of the dried fruit, the currants, raisins and sultanas and the mixed peel. Then add 3 tablespoons of brandy. And give that a stir. Cover the bowl and leave to soak overnight. It's the next day, so get your food mixer out of storage and mix together your sugar and your dairy-free spread. Then add the eggs. Add the flour, salt and mixed spice. And finally add the almonds and the black treacle. Transfer to a huge mixing bowl. These ones remind me of when I was a kid. And then by hand stir in all the dried fruit that's been soaking in the brandy overnight. Now preheat your oven to 140 degrees centigrade, that's gas mark 1. Line your 8-inch tin with greaseproof paper, like so, and then spoon in the fruitcake mixture into the tin. Spread it out evenly using the back of a spoon. Then cover it with a folded double sheet of greaseproof paper with a hole cut in the middle. And tie a double length of brown parcel paper around the tin as well. And pop it in the oven. Keep the oven door closed for at least 4 hours. The cake should be baked after about 4.5 to 5 hours, but will depend on your particular oven. To check whether the cake is cooked, take a wooden skewer like this and put it in the middle of the cake. When you take it out again, see if it's clean. If it's clean, then the cake is cooked. Take the cake out of the oven and leave it to cool inside the baking tin until it's fairly cool, then transfer it onto a wire cooling rack and leave it to cool completely. Then you can transfer it to a tin, and I actually use the tin upside down because I think that's easier. And then throughout Advent, up until Christmas, feed the cake with more brandy. Make several holes, maybe a dozen or more, in the cake, not quite all the way through, using a skewer. And then every couple of days, just pour in a little bit of brandy into each hole. Do that every couple of days, and then keep the cake in a tin the rest of the time. Then just before Christmas, we'll marzipan and ice it. See you then.